Okay, so a lot of you in class weren't sort of ready for this or set up for it, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a video of our text browser and show you what we did wrong in class. I'm going to start out by going to File, New, and Project, and from there we'll wait for it to initialize its templates, of course, and I'm going to use the Windows desktop and I'm going to use Windows Forms, and we'll go ahead and call it the text browser. And just putting that in the default place at the moment. And hopefully you can hear me on this. It looks like it is coming up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these things in here rather quickly. I have a text box here and another text box here and a button there, and now I'll put all these where they belong. This one, yeah, okay. Let's undo that. By the way, when you undo things, it is rather detrimental to life in general over here, so make sure you save things before you. I did not want to double click this. That's my text box, and I wanted a button over here. So this one, I'm going to jump up in here, put it over there. This one I'm going to put up there. I'll just go ahead and bump that over. This one, I don't know why it's flashing so oddly, but it's driving me nuts. That one's going to be multi-line, so let's go back over here. And again, just so you know what's going on with these, I'm going to set this alphabetical because I know what I'm looking for. This is anchor. Well, first of all, there's no text in that one, but I do want to anchor this one on the top, bottom, etc. everywhere. I don't want it docked. I want it anchored. Top, right, left. Okay. This one I want anchored top and left and right. And this one I just want anchored top and left, or top and right, sorry. That will allow me to, do this kind of stuff. Okay. This one I am going to put in a value for the text, and that one is going to be http://www.google.com/. Might as well put that in there. And I'm going to rename this button to be Go. And I want to name these things too. This is going to be BT Go. This is going to be TBURL, and this is going to be TB Web View. Okay, now I can double click on this, and just like I did in class, I'm going to add a few things in here, but I'm going to start off with a variable URL, which is going to be a string, right? We all know it's going to be a string dot text, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to be tvwebview.text is plus equal to a get response, and this is going to be a URL. The URL. Now I need to make this private string get response that is going to take a string URL, and we're going to go ahead and write the logic now for this. I'm going to have a string rval that is equal to nothing at the moment, and I'm going to try and make a request client called, by the way, this is request. It tried to autocomplete for me, equals new request, and I have to hand it the URL, And remember, we went off at this point and actually created the request. So I am going to go off at this point and create the request. And to do that, I need to see my Solution Explorer. And I am not going to need properties so much anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down a little bit. And in my text browser, I am going to add a new class. And we're going to call it, when it comes up, request.cs. Okay, so now we have a request class, and that request class is going to have a few things in it. It is going to have a host name and a path, so let's put those in there. It's going to be a public string host name get set go, a public string path, which is going to be a property, and then we're going to have a public request, which we take nothing and throw a throw new not implemented exception. And then we're also going to have a public request that takes a string. Now, request request. Okay, string, and this is going to be a URL, and this is going to be a string parts. Remember, I said we were going to break this up. URL, not UNL, dot split, and we're going to create a new string array of things that we want it to split on. And so I just want the // and comma, and we're going to have some string split options dot remove empty entities, and that ought to do it. Okay, then I'm going to take an path index to find out where the slash is on the end, where the actual path starts. So I'm going to say parts 1, because the first part will be the HTTP colon, and I'm going to look for the index of a slash, oops, and if that index, path index, oops, if that path index is less than 1, then we're going to say, oh, okay, then the host name is equal to parts 1, and my path is going to be set also, because we didn't have anything, it's just going to be the slash. Else, if we happen to have a host name, in this case is going to be equal to, and we have to separate this out, so we're going to have to do a parts 1 dot substring, and we want to start with 0 and go up to the path index. Okay, and then our path is going to be everything after that, and that's equal to parts 1 dot index of, and here we're just going to do, the index of substring. That would be path index of path index. Okay, so now we've gotten all of the relevant information out of there. We also need to have a public string get request, and I almost want to say get request string, but I will refrain from changing it from what I did in class. And we're going to have a get. Of course, it has to be followed by a space, then plus, and then the path, and then a plus, and then the HTTP /1.1 carriage return line feed, and then I'm doing plus the host name, which is required in HTTP 1, point 1, host name equals, and then I have to do plus host name, and then I have to add on all of those carriage return line feeds, carriage return line feed, carriage return line feed, and that's all we need out of there. So we've got our request created, and it's just, again, a bunch of string manipulation, which is why I didn't put it in here. I could have put it all in here, but who wants to do that? So now I have a request that I have gotten, and I have a get request, a get response, sorry. And I don't know why I called that client. It should be request, REQ. So let's change that, REQ. So now we actually need to make the client, TCP client. And again, remember, if I just click on this using system.sockets, you'll notice that it gets put up here using system.net.sockets. And you'll notice if I put anything up here, it also gives me, you know, hey, you know, do you want to remove all the unnecessary usings? Yes, please, thank you very much. And so here I'm going to have a client, and that's equal to a new TCP client, and I'm just hitting tab to get those things auto-completed, by the way. So I'm going to do client.connect, and I'm going to say req.hostname, comma port 80. And then I'm going to do a network stream. Stream equals client.getStream. Okay, and I can read and write to this stream. Then I'm going to say stream.read string. Say rval. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's write to the string first. Stream.write string, and we're going to do req.get request. Okay, and then we'll read from the string, and then we'll close the stream, and then we'll close the client. Okay, always clean up your messes, right? And the only thing we have left to do there is now to catch the exception. Whoops, come on. Catch exception EX. And we're going to say rval equals ex.message. So this allows me to get everything, all the streams, read, written, close everything, and if something goes wrong, I'll at least see the message. Now, we don't have the write string and the read string, so I'm going to go back over here and add another class. This is going to be called extensions.cs, and this is going to be a public static class extensions, which has obviously two methods in it, and it's going to be a public static bool write string. This network stream stream comma string data that I want. Okay, now again, it doesn't like this, so using system.net.sockets, and then it'll like it just fine. I'm going to have a bool rval equal to true, ever the optimist. And at the end, I'm going to return rval. Okay, and in between that, we're going to try, and we'll set up a buffer of bytes. A buffer that's usually just a set of bytes, equal to an ASCII encoding dot ASCII dot get bytes from string, which is going to be data. And then we're going to do a stream dot write those bytes. And we're going to start at 0 in that array of bytes. And we're going to write all of them. Bytes dot length. Okay. And then we're going to catch any kind of exception that we might throw. And we're going to do just return false. I don't care what the exception actually is. False. Okay. Now that's the one that we wrote to start with, and it was fine. This one we wrote and it needed some editing. Read string. This one is still going to have a this network stream, but there's nothing else. Okay, I don't need anything else. I am going to create though my stream builder just like I did before. String builder, sorry. Builder. SB equals new string builder. And I have my bytes buffer. You know what? It really bugs me that I've done here. I have this set of bytes. Let me show you something. If I hit Control RR and type this as buffer and hit enter, then it'll change everything to buffer there. Like so I'm using a buffer all around. Here I'm creating another buffer. Equals new byte, but this one I have to give it set size 65535. I don't care, it should be 6. That's what I put in class. And then I have a stream dot time out, read time out, and I am going to set this equal to 5,000 milliseconds. So if it takes longer than 5 seconds, then forget it. Okay. Now, a lot of times it'll be a lot longer than that. It'll be more like 15,000. So let me do that. But 5,000 is what I had figured out would give me some information. So I think it'll work now. So let's just leave it at like 15 seconds. So I am going to do an int read that is going to do a stream dot read buffer comma 0 comma buffer dot length. Okay, so I'm going to read as much as I can fit in the buffer. Whoops. And then I'm going to actually sp.append. Now, I'm doing this because I know they're going to respond, or they have to respond. But nevertheless, even if they don't respond, it will time out after 15 seconds. So we're covering ourselves there. And I need to do the ASCII encoding.ascii.get string from my buffer, which I don't have to actually tell it how long it is or anything like that. And now I'm going to say while the stream dot data available. Okay, so just in case we didn't get it all in one shot, check to see if there's more data available, and if there is, stream dot read. In fact, it's going to be all of the same stuff right here. But I don't really care. I guess I don't really care if I have that second thing there. Now I can redo this, and I may redo this in a second here. In fact, I probably don't need this int read here. Let's take it out. Ta-da! Okay, and I shouldn't have all of that in there, but okay, we'll catch our exception. Let me see that. I'll fix it in a moment. Catch exception. And again, I don't really care what the exception is. I just know that I'm going to throw a new exception called connection timed out. So I'm assuming that the connection timed out, that there wasn't any other error that happened. Now there could be other errors, but whatever. That's what we're doing for right now. Now the last thing I need to do is, there's still a red squiggly line up there, so I need to return sb dot toString to return the value at the end. Now I could do a repeat until here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this stuff, and I'm going to do a Control K, Control KC. We'll comment it all out. And I'm going to try this. I'm going to say repeat. Let's see if there is a repeat. Hold on. Yes, here we go. I'm used to another language, so this is a do while. So we're actually going to say do, and I'm just going to say Control C, Control V, and I'm going to say until, and we're going to say not stream dot, and we want to say data available. So something's wrong there. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that's supposed to be a do while, not a do until. Of course, that's would be the case. Do while this is true. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave that in there for just a second. And at this point in time, if I save everything and I'll go back here, I think should work. Did I not do that right string? I think I may have named it wrong. Read string and write string. Oh yeah, did not return something there. So not all code paths return something. I need to return rval. Forgot to do that. And I think this is supposed to be write string with a capital. That would make sense. Okay. Now we'll build it, and it was successful. And let's run it really quick. Seems like my computer is being slow. Let me bring this over here and hit go. And lo and behold, I get everything in like it's supposed to. No errors, no nothing. So very good. That's exactly what I was expecting. And you can see that this is all returning essentially stuff in one line. And as I change it, there it goes. And I did get an HTTP 100 OK. I did get the date, the expires, the cache control, the content type, all of this other kind of stuff. So voila, it works. And essentially what I didn't do in class, now I can delete this because I know it works. You should always make your code as simple as possible. What I didn't do in class was the stream.data available. You should expect something, so you read first here, which will block, but you should get something back, and then you append whatever that is to here, and then say, hey, while the stream has data available, go ahead and read again. But if there isn't data available, then this will be true, and it'll jump out of here and just return the string. Okay, so we've covered a bunch of really cool stuff. We've done some socket programming. We have showed how to do extension methods. I've got a simple request string handling kind of thing. And our form, I think we're done. And all it took was 25 minutes.